What up? What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to koblizzy. I can't get comfortable in this chair. This pillow is too much. The chair's not big enough for my big ass and this big ass pillow. Hey y'all. Let me check the shot. So, I'm looking a little crazy, but hey, I'm cozy. I'm lounging. Hey guys, welcome back to koblizzy. I put a new windscreen. Is that what this called? A new fluffy thing on this microphone. Because I actually remember last week, if you watched the episode last week, near the end of the episode, there was like a rattling noise on my microphone. So I had to take all the stuff off and like unscrew it and get in there. There was this like thing flying around that came unglued because of how much I drop stuff, including this very expensive microphone. And so this microphone has a gigantic dent in the metal cage that goes around the physical like microphone. So that's not great. So I put on this big windscreen because I'm like, maybe it'll protect the microphone from my schleprockness, the fact that I drop everything. Like I literally, as soon as I get any sort of new electronic, I'll buy a case for it. A webcam, a camera, a camcorder, whatever it may be, I'm gonna go on Amazon and see if they have some sort of protective case, a laptop, a phone, whatever it may be, an AirTag. Everything needs a case because I break shit. So this week, there's a lot to discuss. Actually, I mean, I say that every week. There's always a lot to talk about. There's always so much happening at any given moment in any field, in any avenue. There's just, I don't know, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed. So first of all, an update, my foot over here, this foot that I'm tucking behind my other foot, is still, I went to the foot doctor. She called it a sprain or a contusion. I don't really know what that second part means still, but there was like a little shadow kind of on my x-ray, but not necessarily like a real break or anything. So it might be a little baby fracture, it might be a sprain, but it's still a little swollen. It's still hurting. I'm still hobbling around and wearing my little surgical shoe thing over there. So that's just an update on my boo-boo foot. Pride, New York City Pride. I leave in 4 days for New York City Pride. Pride itself is in a week, the physical celebration. And I'm like, bitch, you're going to have to be able to walk and dance and jump and serve cunt and slay the house down boots, you know? So I'm trying to, be very gentle and careful on this foot, like hobbling around. And like I said, wearing my shoe. I've been using like a foot massager that kind of heats up a little gently. Epsom salt, ice once in a while. I just, my dad actually has this like THC, like cream, like that you put on stuff if it hurts, like weed cream. And so I put this little cream on my foot and it made the swelling go down a little bit last night. I don't like to take ibuprofen, but I might end up having to take some of it, like a prescription ibuprofen, to get some anti-inflammatory shit going on to make the swelling go away. Because I have like a swelling blood disorder, but this isn't that. This is like injury swelling. Does that make sense? So like my medicine for swelling doesn't make this go away because it has to do with the fact that I sprained my foot. Let's talk about how I did it. So I went to Boston last Friday. I told you guys about this last week. I went to Boston on, or not last Friday now. I guess it was 2 Fridays ago. But I went to Boston 2 Fridays ago, last weekend before last. You know what the fuck I mean, damn. And the day before that, the day before that, it was like the day I was packing and getting ready. The day before that, on Wednesday, was my birthday. So I turned 22 on Wednesday. On Thursday, and then on Wednesday night, my mom and I watched Burlesque. If I've ever seen Burlesque, it was a long time ago, and I certainly don't remember the details. Like I remember like the wagon wheel Watusi. I remember silly shit, and like I remember the songs and like the Little Kim, Christina Aguilera of it all. But I don't remember the whole context of the whole film, if that makes sense. So we watched it on my birthday. Such a good movie. Such a good, like 5 stars on Letterboxd, maybe 4.5. I don't remember what I gave it. Should have gave it 5. Why was Burlesque such a good movie? It was crazy. Anyway, so we watch it. On Thursday, I'm getting ready for my trip, and I was like dancing around, like intimidating the burlesque people just to like have fun. And at one point I was like running or up or down the stairs or something, and I like dragged my little toes back, like my 4 little toes on my right foot. I dragged them back, and that's essentially, I think, what That's when my toes started hurting. And then I flew to Boston the very next morning and then hit the ground running, literally walking. We walked miles and miles. Bella and I walked through like all of Boston, all through Back Bay, through the Common. I walked through Dorchester. Like I was all South Boston. I was all over the place. Um, the Fens. I was just walking everywhere, down through like Hemingway Street, up Mass Ave, down. Damn, I sound like Joe Biden. Down Newbury and Boylston, like the Prudential Center, all these places I used to go when I was in college. So it was a lot of walking, and I really exacerbated whatever injury I created in my burlesque number by walking that much. So that's what happened to my foot. That's the update on how it's feeling. It's okay right now. I just put some of that cream on it. But it just like, I'm like, this is bad timing. The day after my birthday, I injure my foot doing burlesque, fake burlesque dancing through the house. And then I have like a gazillion trips planned. 2 weeks after I get back from Pride, which is in a couple of days, I'm going to DC. And then a couple weeks after, I'm like, there's always just something happening, you know? So I made a list. This episode actually is going to be kind of Pride centric. I was talking about how I'm going to Pride. In celebration of that, I'm filming on Sunday. It's coming out on Tuesday. That's the 24th. The 25th is this episode coming out. 2 days later, I go to the city, and 5 days later, after the episode comes out, from the 5th, is Pride. It's on the 30th. It's the last Sunday of the month. And so I thought it would be appropriate to make like a Pride special of koblizzy, so to speak. So I'm going to talk about all the Pride festivals that I've attended over the past couple of years since coming out, and like how they've differed, some highlights, etc. You know, just like a Pride situation. Before I get into all of my Pride shenanigans, though, I do want to remind you that I have 2 new songs that came out on my birthday, which was about a 10, 11, 12, well, now that you're watching, like 15 days ago. 2 weeks ago, I turned 22, and I put out 2 songs. So 2 weeks ago, 22, 2 songs. If you want to listen to Star and T, you know where to find them. You can go to koblizzy.com or linktree/koblizzy, or straight to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon, Google, whoever, Yo Mama, etc., and search Star and T by Koblizzy, and I assure you they will pop right up. Just spell it right. That's KOBLIZZ to the Y. So now into other music that's come out. I don't remember if I mentioned Normani's new album last week. I don't remember. I literally cannot remember, and I did not go back and check. So if I did, I would have said that I love Insomnia. I love All Yours. I might have said that I didn't connect to it so much at first when it came out, which was the truth. But I've been listening to it more the past couple of days, and I'm starting to like it a lot more, for the record. So if I didn't say last week that I wasn't loving Normani's album, then you can forget I said this. But that was true. I wasn't like super connecting to dopamine at first. And I'm starting to get into it more, like settle into like what it is rather than what I expected, you know? So Big Boy, the opening track's great. All Yours is great. Still is a banger. Like those all 3 are favorited. I really love Insomnia, which I always loved. I always got Insomnia. And those are my favorites right now. So I'll listen more to the second half of the album as well and see if I get into it. Another new release I want to mention that I didn't super connect. Don't jump me. Do not jump me, everybody. But another new release that I didn't super connect with is Brat. Oh, gosh. But I am not unfair. I like to give things, even things I don't love on first listen. I like to give them a fair shake. And I wasn't always like that. I got like that a lot more when I started doing this podcast because I didn't want to like get on here and make some sweeping statement and read a bitch down, you know, and then end up liking the record 3 weeks later because I didn't get it at first. You know, that's possible. Opinions change, and I want to recognize that and also give myself the space to form opinions that are intelligent and based on real feelings rather than just like rash decisions, if that makes sense. So Brat, when I first heard it, like it came out, did it not come out on the same day? Oh, wait. It came out in May? Wait, when did Brat come out? Now I'm confused. I just said it came out in May. That's not true, right? It came out June 7th. Why does it say that the deluxe came out in May on Apple Music? Somebody fix that. That just made me so confused for a second. Anyway, so I listened this morning all the way through to Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not the deluxe version with that long ass Lana Del Rey ass title. I just don't. The main album tracks, I just don't. I think maybe the oh gosh, I don't want to sound like a pussy. Like I'm gonna give my real opinion. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. Um, I always say that I like all music. When people say, you'll say, "Oh, what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite type of music?" They'll say, "Oh, I like everything. I listen to anything." That is usually not the truth. Because if you put on classical, they'll probably say turn it off. Or if you put on opera, they'll be like, I don't like it. Or if you put on a musical theater song, they'll be like, I don't know. If you put on, UK rap, where he's like rapping and he has a UK accent, like stuff like that. I'm like, there's some things you don't want to hear. So you say I like all music. It's like, that's probably not the truth. With that being said, I've always said that I like all music, and I genuinely mean it. There is some classical music. There's music for everything. If I'm trying to get something done and I'm trying to work, I'm the type of person that likes sound, but I can't listen to something that I know well, or I know the words to, or that has lyrics, because I won't work. I'll put on Beethoven, bitch. I'll put on Mozart, baby. Let's listen to the classical music. I'll put on a classical music radio station on Apple Music. You know what I mean? Like, let's get into it. Opera is not something that I really would go out of my way to listen to. Well, Queen of the Night's kind of cunt, so I guess I will listen to that one. But like, I don't go out of my way to listen to opera. I understand how insane operatic singing is, though, and how hard it is, and how talented those people are, and also how emotional you have to be, and it's hard to sing everything. I've done a Rent, which is a rock opera, and it's not the same as far as vocal quality and the strenuous nature of classical singing, even though it's actually better on your voice. Classical singers will say, "Oh, you're ruining your voice when you belt," but classical singing like that, doing it in the opera, that's hard shit. Especially something like Queen of the Night, where you're in the sixth octave. It's just crazy. But I'm like, that stuff is hard. But an opera is hard. To sing an entire show is hard, even if it's not, opera in the traditional sense. Rent was hard. And so I'm like, opera, there's something there. I'm sure there's a UK rapper that I could get down with. I just, like, whenever I hear those people on TikTok and they're like, I can't do a British accent, but I'm just like, yikes, these people are so... like, there's this one, like, I love Flow, but there's this one song where they're, like, featured with a rapper that's also British, and I had to turn it off. Like, I can't do it. Something about it just doesn't... Sorry, British people, but rapping, I don't know if it's for you. Sorry. Sorry. No, I'm Canadian. So what am I getting at? I'm just basically, I love country music. There's a lot of country music I really love. Older country music, current country music that's sung by women, Beyonce's country album. There's a lot of country music and country influence music, country music rooted in country, country influence and country roots. I like pop music. I like rap. I like hip hop. I like musical theater. I like jazz. I like, you know what I mean? I'd like to say that I like all music. And this was a long tangent, a roundabout way of proving my point. But I don't know. The only genre I'm not sure if it's for me is like EDM music. I'm not into EDM. Like millennial core, sorry, millennials, but like millennial core, like EDM, it kind of like, it's not, like Titanium's like cute, like songs with a little influence, a little ounce. I'm like, okay, but like the true EDM, like DJ, when you go out for like EDM night at the club, like, bitch, I'm not going. I'm at home. I'm at home watching Love Island USA. I recently started watching Love Island USA because Ariana Madix is on it, and bitch, I get why y'all watch that show. That shit is messy. I wish there were gay people on it, because they don't understand what they're missing by not having gay people on there, because they think those straight people are messy. Bitch, if you put a Love Island US gay with a house full of twinks and otters and some muscle hunks and like a guy that's like 35 to make them feel like there's some seniority in the room, because I know those people are like 20 something or whatever. I'm like, if you give them like that, baby, mess. You will see mess. That old gay will be trying to play wise owl. Baby, mess. Love Island US gay, get into it and call me the host once you pick up that idea, because you realize how lucrative it is. But anyway, I'm not going to that EDM night. And furthermore, not that Charlie XCX makes EDM music, but I'm saying that like electronic dance pop. Like, for example, I was gonna say I love Lady Gaga's like Art Pop is her weirdest album. I think that's great. A lot of people will claim, though, that Lady Gaga's image and her aesthetic is not nearly as... Her music is not nearly as edgy as her aesthetic, which also might be fair. Maybe her pop music is pretty pure pop. Okay, sure. So that's not that experimental. Art pop is, I think so, in my opinion. Like Swine, or like Jewels and Drugs. There's some pretty experimental songs on art pop to me. But with that being said, Charlie XCX like brand, her current brand of like this electronic pop, it's not really my love. Like of all the musical genres, that's not what I'm gonna go out of my way to put on. I love pop music, and there's that shirt that says it doesn't make you deep to hate pop music or whatever it says. That's the truth. I really like pop music. I really like gay pop. I love the Chers and the Madonnas and the Gagas, the Marinas. I like pop music. The Dua Lipa. I like pop music to this very day. But the aesthetic, maybe I'm not that kind of gay. Like maybe I'm country. I don't know what it is about it, but it just doesn't connect with me. So Brat, while this is having such a huge moment right now, I respect how huge the era is, how much cultural currency there is with this fucking neon green random ass cover. I love the aesthetic of the songwriting. I will give her this. I love the aesthetic of the songwriting, of how like nonchalant it is over these like super electro beats. It's cool. It's really, really cool. And I love how the titles are. I like how she capitalizes the first lyric. I mean, the first letter of the first word of the title now, and then nothing else. Even her name. She changed her name from Charlie XCX in all capital letters to Charlie XCX in all lowercase letters. So anyway, Brat, I say all of that to say it's not necessarily my thing, but I get why you guys love it. And I did listen to it all the way through this morning, the deluxe version. So I will tell you what songs that I like, and then I'll move on, because I don't want to. I don't try to make a point to shit on. I know, like, being around people who I'm like, oh my god, I love this. They're like, oh, I hate that. Like when you say you like Taylor Swift, and somebody's like, oh, da 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 da, I hate that. That's just as annoying to me as somebody being like, oh, I love Taylor Swift, and then they go, oh, she's the songwriter of a generation. I'm like, okay, well, no, she isn't, but she's also not what, the hater over here says. There's a happy medium. And so I don't like to shit on things that people like, and I also don't like to blow smoke up asses unjustifiably. You know what I mean? So that's all. I understand why you guys love it. It's not my thing, but if you like it, I love it. And here's the songs that I love. Back to Back from the original cut of the album is so great. I love Back to Back to Back to Back. Ooh, Back to Back. Bella played that one when I was in Boston. That was one of the first ones I heard because I hadn't listened to the album yet. Love it. And then I love the 3 bonus tracks, Hello Goodbye, Guess, and Spring Breakers. I think all 16, 17, 18 on that Brad's the same, but it's not that album. Love all 3 of those bonus tracks. And I love the Lorde remix of Girl, that's the thing though, is with these complicated ass titles, I'm like, what's it called? The Girl, It's So Confusing version with Lorde, I like that one too. I like that. So there's 5 songs from Brat. That's what it's called. Brats is what I said though. There's 5 songs from Brat that I love. Love those songs. I like the album. I love those songs, but it's just, like I'll dance to it at the club. I wanted to listen to it, so because I'm going to Pride in a couple of days. I know it's going to be playing everywhere, so I was like, I have to hear, the music that I'm going to be hearing. But I guess it's just not my thing, and it's not that I don't like electronic pop music either. Don't get me wrong. It's just something about the entire body of work I just don't get right now. Maybe that will change. It was the same when Normani's album first came out. I didn't get it. Now, I will say I usually do get stuff. Like, if I'm going to like it, I usually get it. But sometimes I don't. I didn't get Normani's album, and then I changed my mind. So, things change. Things happen. 2 songs by Charlie XCX that I do love, though, that during college were just tearing the speakers up in my house, in my car, in my dorm room, in my phone, in my headphones, baby. Loving it. Good Ones, banger. I always let the good ones go. Like, bitch, she ate that. And then Yuck, same album. Those are both from Crash. That's Charlie's 2021 album, Crash. And Good Ones and Yuck were those 2 songs. Love those. Right now, I'm also loving This Is a Woman's World, Tell the Truth. This is a woman's world, tell the truth. I think Bella showed me that song actually in college. Because otherwise I don't remember where I got that from. But it's like Pride Month. We're listening to gay music. So those are Yuck, Tell the Truth, Woman's World. And I thought I wanted to bring up Woman's World because Katy Perry had her snippet leak. Or she posted a snippet on TikTok or Twitter or socials or whatever. And then a bigger snippet of the song leaked. And then her manager was like, oh, that's not real, because everybody was flaming it. I don't know if it was real or not, but everybody was flaming the leak. because it was kind of corny. Sorry, it was a little corny. The lyrics itself were corny. And they were like, oh, corny, corny, corny. And then her manager was like, "That's not real. It's a fake leak." And then the next day, she puts out like a bigger snippet of something that sounded different, like a similar melody, but kind of different words. It was shorter though, so you can't really tell. I don't know. Woman's World sounds like it's gonna be cool. Like I'm excited for a Katy Perry comeback. I hope that it's worth all this hype. Because Katy Perry back in the day was like a pop force to be reckoned with, unstoppable. Teenage Dream is nuts. It's just, yeah, she really did like kind of eat that. So I just want her to have another one of those. For her sake, I want her to have that. So Woman's World by Cher is cunt. But anyway, Katy Perry does have a song called Woman's World coming out. We'll see if it holds a candle. We'll see. Recently, I just wanted to shout out 2 live performances that I've been loving. October Sky, Yeba. That's something since college. Again, that video of her sitting on those pallets with that other man playing the guitar, singing October Sky in a field. Baby eats. And Silver Springs live, that video of Fleetwood Mac where she is giving him hell. Stevie Nicks is giving that man hell. I've just been watching that video a lot too for the past couple of days. I don't know why. Also, I've been listening to Let the Light In. Like, I might be entering a Lana Del Rey era, like, about 15 years after everybody else. Like, I know Born to Die. So, do you know it? Yeah, am I a Nicki fan? I know Born to Die. That album is obviously pop perfection, kind of, like, set the standard for 2010s pop music. Born to Die is incredible. But I don't know a lot of Lana Del Rey music outside of that. I know a little bit of that Black and White album that has, like, I can't remember the songs for. I don't know it well enough to talk about it. I can pull it up, but I was just trying to remember off the top of my head. But anyway, I think I might be listening to more Lana Del Rey like soon because I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel the mental pain, the mental illness of it all. Anyway, Let the Light In is just a song from her newest album that is that Sentence title. Did you know there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? That one. Pretty When You Cry. That's the album I'm talking about. What's this album called? Ultraviolence. So I like Ultraviolence, and I know Born to Die pretty well, but I like Ultraviolence. I was listening to Norman fucking Rockwell this morning, and I know the song, but I didn't really know the whole album. And I was like, hold on, why are we like, hey? I know you guys are like, Kobe, you're gay and you're late. But like I said, there's some like Torture Poets Department kind of feels Lana Del Rey to me, like the aesthetic and the songwriting style. And it's just too wordy for me. Like I like words and I'm obsessed with lyrics, but songs can be too wordy, and songs can be wordy in a way that still works. And some songs just don't work. I've have some super wordy songs that I love, and I've written some super wordy songs where I'm like, okay, that's just an essay. You know, that's just a dissertation and nothing more. You know, it's just set to music. And so I always kind of felt that, and I'm sorry, not to like, I'm not trying to give Lana, I'm not trying to have Lana Del Rey catch any Torture Poet Department strays, but I was about to say slays, bitch, strays. But I like 10 songs on Torture Poets Department. I've talked about this so many times, but it's just because like that's my point is I like to be fair. I won't say I don't like an album. I like a third of it, you know. With Lana Del Rey, I never really got that wordy kind of thing. Sometimes I liked the formulaic nature of like pop music, or sometimes even rap music where it goes hooked and, you know, verse, hook, verse, and it goes and it always rhymes. Like it just, sometimes music like that really tickles an itch for me. But I'm starting to get the Lana Del Rey thing on like a larger scale. Like I know that she's really influenced music, and I mean obviously somebody like Taylor Swift is influenced by her and is making an album that I feel is an homage to her or is very inspired by her. So I figured, let me really give this lady her fair shot, you know, let me give her a fair shake, other than just her most critically acclaimed work and the songs that I've heard, you know, from gay people in passing. But I'll tell you the songs right now, pre Lana Del Rey, like free jumping in. I'll tell you the songs by Lana Del Rey that I know and that I like. I love her cover of Take Me Home Country Road. Dealer is a song, kind of takes me back to, it takes me back a little bit to a time of, I guess what Lana is supposed to do is make you feel traumatized. I know Summertime Sadness, obviously, Radio, Lolita, Diet Mountain Dew, Born to Die. Those are the songs from the album that I like. Norman fucking Rockwell is a banger. Like I said, I got into that album today, but I already knew the song, but I didn't know the whole album. So the title track's on here. That's it. That's kind of it. I mean, Snow on the Beach, more Lana Del Rey, you know. Pretty When You Cry, like I said. There's another album on this Ultraviolence. I mean, there's another song on this Ultraviolence album that I like. Let me see. Brooklyn Baby, West Coast, Florida Kilos. I know those. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm getting into Lana. That's all I was saying. I just thought it'd be appropriate since we're talking about like Pride. I think I've talked my way through the list of songs, so that's good. Then I just wanted to say, like, I've been so obsessed with Project Runway All Stars. I have blind spots in culture, in gay culture sometimes specifically. Like, I don't remember watching Burlesque until a couple weeks ago, for example. Or the fact that there's certain movies I've never seen, stuff like that. I had never seen Project Runway. I don't know why. Like, I'd never seen it. Like, I knew what it was. I knew they made clothes. I knew they made dresses. But I had never sat down and watched it. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. That is, like, right up my alley. I don't know what compelled me to never turn it on. But a month or two ago, or maybe, I don't know when it was, honestly. Sometime this year, I was just sitting and flipping on the TV. And I was like, you know what, whatever. Apple TV will just, like, suggest stuff to you on the home screen. And I saw a Project Runway, and I was like, okay, click, and I watched it was All Stars, Project Runway All Stars, and it played, and it was on Hulu. It started playing season 3, episode 1 of All Stars, so I didn't start at the beginning of All Stars, or it was at the beginning of the 3rd season. So I watched season 3, 5. I love that I can count. I watched season 3, 4, and 5, and then that was all that was on Hulu, and so then I had to find where it was. It was on Peacock. So then I go to Peacock, and I've almost done with season 1. Then I watch season 2. I don't like the girl that hosts season 1 and season 2. On season 3, it starts with Alyssa Milano, and then she continues to host it until the end. And so I'm really missing Alyssa Milano. The girl that hosts season 1 and 2 is so boring. Sorry. Now that she's catching strays. Well, she is actually. She's boring. So whack her again. But anyway, season 1, I'm almost done. Season 2, I'm watching. I've never seen regular Project Runway, but All Stars, it's good. I like it. That's all I wanted to say, is that I'm a reality TV hoe. I'd never seen it before, and it really gives. So if you've never seen Project Runway, give it a shot, but I'm probably the only one. But All Stars, like I said, I've never seen the regular one. I know there's like a Tim Gunn version too. So I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. Maybe once I run out of All Stars to watch, I'll find more or move on to something else. We'll see. I am a reality TV hooker though, so I usually like to finish what I start. It's kind of my thing. Love reality TV. What else did I watch? Oh, we watched such a good movie the other day. I watched a movie with my mom and my dad called I almost said Scissor Sister. It's not what the hell it was called. It's something about being a witch. Scissor Sister. I don't know where's my head at? I saw The Watchers. Did I say that? I don't think I've taped since I saw The Watchers last. I just saw The Watchers the other day. It was really good. Real good. Oh my God, I did not log the freaking movie that I watched. I'm gonna have to go look on the thing. It was with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock, and they were playing witches. Damn, was it Sandra Bullock? It's the way I can't remember shit. I'm gonna have to look that movie up. I can't remember what it was called, and I didn't put it on my letterbox, so now I'm gonna have to go find it and correct history. But it was really good, and The Watchers was also really good. I'm not gonna spoil that one. It's pretty new, but it was good. Oh my God, I see a freaking bug. I like the summer, but I don't like the summer because I feel like I can't set anything anywhere that's not on a surface without being nervous that when I pick it up there might be a tiny little bug underneath it, just because I live near the woods and it's fucking 90 degrees outside, and no matter how much bug killer I spray, these bitches will not leave me alone. So give me a moment while I pick up this freaking bug. I literally hate bugs, but I'm honestly getting desensitized. Come here, fucker. I hate these fucking things. If you would stay outside, you could live. But when you don't stay outside, you die. See how that works? Son, I'm busted, broken down. I'm better footed and turned, but it didn't hard. That I'm stronger, strong enough to rise above. This is a woman's world. This is a woman's world. Tell the truth. This is a woman's world. Tell the truth. This is a woman's world. My hair looking crazy. Got headphone hair. Like a Twitch streamer. Said I'm stronger. Sorry. I didn't realize how loud that was. This mic might be turned up too much. Because why the hell is the mic fucking 2 feet away from my mouth peaking? What the hell? It's like, what is the deal? Okay, you guys, let's talk about pride. That's such an ordeal to get here, but we've made it. I'm kind of cold, but I guess I'm just gonna let me cover myself up. I can see myself, and that's never good. I'm like one of those bitches. Every time I catch a mirror, every time I pass a mirror, I'll catch my reflection, or like a clean window, anything shiny, a spoon, a laptop screen that's fleshly. Sorry, Army Hammer, don't mean to trigger you saying a screen that's freshly clean. Why is that? Sorry, a laptop screen that's freshly clean. I'm the baddest Kobe on the magazine. Catch me on the scene, flipping through my zine. Gotta get a zine. I don't like nicotine. Drinking LaCroix, calling my boys. Sometimes I'm like, bitch. You're weird. Like, I just sit around sometimes and I'm like, this is why you talk to a microphone. Like, you're weird. Like, I get it. Like, I get why they made fun of me in middle school. Like, bullying works. Like, it makes sense, you guys. That is so funny. I don't even remember what I was talking. Oh, pride. So, yeah. I've talked about my gay experience. I mean, shit, if you listen to this podcast a long time, you're like, bitch, are you going to talk about coming out again? And I'm not, I promise. Just briefly, if you don't know, I came out in 2018 as gay. I discovered that I liked to identify as a more gender fluid variety a couple of years after that, when I first started college. And ever since coming out, I really was leaning into like feminine, like gender expression and acrylics and nails and all kinds of stuff, you know, and also masculine. Like I would try everything. I just didn't want to be limited or boxed in, or, you know, I didn't want to feel like I had to answer to some sort of standard or follow some list of rules, or, you know, afford somebody some sort of experience because that's what I owe them because I'm a man, so to speak, quote unquote. I didn't want to check their boxes, and I did not want to dot their I's and cross their T's. I wasn't in the mood anymore. And so I immediately started really leaning into like gayness. And so I came out of the closet really loudly and really proudly. And it's Pride Month, and this is the Pride special, although it took me about probably half an hour to get there. But I just want to say that some people, straight folks, maybe are not hateful. Maybe they don't hate gays or trans people or queer folks in general, so to speak. But they don't understand the necessity for something like pride because, oh, we're all, you know, we just love and whatever. But, I mean, trans people are still dying at disproportionate rates. Gay people still experience homophobia. I was in Atlanta. I don't remember if I talked about this. I was in Atlanta a couple of weeks ago, literally doing a pride photo shoot. I was doing a pride photo shoot for a brand that hasn't come out yet. I took some pieces with me. So I had like a suitcase that I'd pulled of stuff and some shoes. And so I was taking my suitcase and my shoes with me, like leaving the photo shoot. And the person had styled my hair into like a faux mullet. Like I used to have my haircut, but it was like a faux mullet. And so I just looked like faggy. And I was walking out in a crop top and little shorts or whatever. And I walk out of the building and somebody goes, "Fag!" on the streets of Atlanta in downtown. And like, I'm big, you know, I'm a larger sized person. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, okay. Like I didn't even say anything because I was like, really, bitch? What do you think I'm going to say back to you? Because I was about to tell him his hair, bald, you know, hairlines scraggly, you know, hairlines squiggly. I'm about as straight as your hairline is, you know, like I was about to give him his ass. Bitches don't know me. But I didn't say anything because I'm just like, you have to consider your safety. It's not like I couldn't have come up with a quip, but he holds the power in that situation. You're driving down the side of the street calling me a faggot. Clearly one of us is the aggressor. And it's not the bitch walking out of a photo shoot covered in baby oil with their hair in a mullet, wearing a crop tops and booty shorts, trying to drag a suitcase down the street without their hands slipping off of it because the baby, you know what I mean? Like, it's not me. I'm trying to get in my car and get to my house so I can turn on the valley. Like, baby, I'm trying to go home. And so if you don't understand the value or the importance or even the necessity of and for pride, then I ask you, I implore that you maybe just keep that to yourself. because there are so many people who still, unfortunately, I think a lot of us feel fooled by the progress we've made. Oh, marriage is legal, gay marriage is legal, and this and that. But so the current political climate is really frightening and it's really scary. And there is a lot of people who are really making efforts to roll back protections of queer people, of trans people, of gay people, of women, of people of color. Excuse me, I don't really like that terminology after I just realized that it's reframing colored people, people of color. So black people, Native Americans, indigenous people. I don't, Hispanic people in this country, Asian people, the Latino community in general. I already said Hispanic people, but you see my point is that people in this country who are not white, who are of the minority, or the minorative variety, is minorative a word? People who are in the minority statistically speaking. Side note, I remember one time in high school, I was like, something about minorities and da 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 da. He's like, if you call yourself a minority, that's a mindset. Nigga, look at a statistic, bitch. I'm like, I have never been, like, you just look at white boys and you're like, you really, there's nothing home back there. And I'm not, nobody's home. I meant nothing on, nobody home. And I'm not trying to generalize a race or a gender, but men are tough and white men are, kind of the blueprint for privilege in this country. And so white men have to fight their audacity. It comes naturally to you because of your position in this environment, in the patriarchy, in this situation. You have to actively avoid toxic masculinity. You have to actively avoid prejudice. You have to actively avoid not, weaponizing your privilege and yielding it against people who don't have that same privilege. Because you have it, and it's easy to roll over people. It's easy to forget. It's easy to, put on blinders. The same way, it's just easy not to consider experiences that aren't your own in general. And so, I just find that for somebody to look at me and say, why are you calling yourself a minority? It's a mindset. Well, clearly you don't understand anything. Clearly you don't get it. It's statistic, baby. And furthermore, it's a statistic that you've created, your ancestors created, rather, because my ancestors didn't come over here by choice. They was dragged into this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So there's less of us because we didn't come over here by choice in droves. You poached us. I just don't understand. And then they'll say, oh, that was almost 300 years ago. It's like, okay, maybe so. It was 200 years ago, 250 years ago. But people were enslaved, until much, much later after that. Jim Crow was less than 100 years ago. Martin Luther King died less than 100 years ago. Martin Luther King's daughter is on Twitter, right now, probably tweeting about a cause. It's like we are not as distant from these issues. We are not as distant from these issues as they want you to believe. And they'll post those black and white pictures to make you think it was so long ago. Baby, they can photograph people in color in the 70s. As black and white by choice. Bloop. When they put out The Wizard of Oz, that was in color. Check the year. That was like 40s. You know what I mean? They could have photographed in people in color. That's a filter, baby. They put that in black and white on their iPhone. It makes me sick, to talk about just how people are being attacked currently. But historically, currently, the people are being attacked historically. It mirrors the way people are attacked historically. The way people are being attacked in the media for being queer, for being trans, for being, of an LGBTQ plus variety currently is very similar to how they used, gayness as a fear-mongering tactic during the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and 90s. And furthermore, you know what I mean? Like, history is repeating itself, and they're using us as political props. And so if you don't understand why pride's important, I don't know, get your head out of your ass. Like, get with the program, bitch. I don't know what to tell you. Get used to it. We're here, we're queer, we're not going anywhere, we're here to stay. All those corny things are true, but they are attacking us in legislation. They are attacking people physically in the streets. They are murdering people for being queer. And so pride is important. I think it's also important while we're celebrating to recognize that there are also really horrible things going on in the world currently and actively that can't go unaddressed. And I'm not the president of this country. God knows I would never want that job. I would never want to, have so much blood on my hands and just because I don't. What's the point of all this war? I just don't understand. War, by the way, is what they're calling all of this. And I don't know. People are dying in droves in this current political situation, and genocide has never been the answer for anything. So I just think, yeah, it's Pride. Yes, we're celebrating. Pride's important. There's no doubt about that. I think we also need to keep in mind, though, that while there are so many forces we're fighting against as queer people in America, somehow we are still fortunate. Somehow living through this Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Marjorie Taylor Greene, homophobia, transphobia at a high, fear mongering, drag queens being groomers and somehow not the priests who are actually grooming people. This nuts era of time that we're living through, somehow we are still of privilege to not be in Palestine or to not be in Congo. So that's something to think about. But Pride certainly isn't going anywhere. So now I guess I'll get into my prides. The prides that I've gone to. This is kind of a crazy episode. Clearly I've veered from my notes. Not that anything that I'm saying is untrue, just that the connections are a little... Actually, the connections are perfectly accurate and incredibly parallel. I think it's just a heavy topic and it kind of, brings your energy down a little bit. But Pride is a celebration, that's true. And unfortunately, anytime we're celebrating in the world, something bad is happening somewhere else. Anytime that you're having a good moment, something horrible is happening at the exact given moment in 100 other places, 1,000 other places. And so this is no different, I suppose, but it's heavy. It makes your heart heavy to feel like you can't really affect a situation that is so fundamentally incorrect. Fundamentally incorrect. So yeah. Just didn't think this is what I was growing up in. Like, the current political situation is crazy. Just didn't think this is what we were, growing up to inherit. These people really fucked it up and don't give a fuck. Or them old ass people are still fucking it up for us. We're gonna get this shit in a couple years and be like, what the fuck do we do now? What the fuck do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do now? I'm sweating. It's making me anxious. Makes me anxious to think about. Let's talk about Pride. That's happier. That's again a celebration that is incredibly necessary. Just to reiterate that idea, my first Pride, I'm pretty sure it was 2019. The summer, it was summer. I was I was in between junior and senior year, and I was going with my friend Luke and his mom. Luke had graduated the year before, and I, like I said, was going into my senior year. So we were. I mean, he was maybe 19. I was 17. We were both young. He might have been 20. I think he was 19, honestly. But anyway, so we were at Pride, and we went. Luke has a gay sister who's married with kids, and actually at the time she only had one kid. Her and Lux only had one kid. But now Mallory and Lux have two kids, and they lived in Virginia Beach at the time, or maybe they don't live in Virginia Beach, but they lived in Virginia. Anyway, so we were in Virginia and we were going to Virginia Beach Pride. Clearly, I don't remember all the details. There was this one time I got caught hitting a Benjamin, if you know what that is, and if you don't, I'm not elaborating. And I got in trouble on this trip as well, which was funny. Look, now it's funny. It was not funny then. But what was I saying? Oh, Virginia Beach Pride. You can tell never mind. Virginia Beach Pride. It was just fun. It was my first Pride. It was a smaller event, but it was cool because Joanna Levesque, was the headline performer. And so me and Luke were literally like front row at a JoJo concert, and we took a selfie with her. If you're watching the video, I'll edit it in right here. So we took a selfie with JoJo, and or that was my selfie with JoJo, but we both took pictures with JoJo, talked to her. Luke said she was flirting with him. Maybe she was, I wouldn't put it past her. And she was giving that day. She was looking really cute, singing her face off. And obviously we were cute too, because we're only pretty people in this circle, baby. And so it was just a fun Pride. JoJo was really cool. Watching her perform was cool. There was like a drag queen. It was, like I said, a very pretty, like it was like a pride like in a field. It was cool that they had JoJo there. Like it wasn't that big of a pride, but there was like that was one stage, and the other stage had drag queens on it, and so we got to see them too. And it was awesome. It was just like a cool event, and to like hang out with Luke and his mom and my mom and his sister, her wife, their kid. Now they have another little baby. It was just like a precious memory for me. It's a precious memory and continues to be, because I had never been to a pride before. What was funnier is I was wearing like I had just come out, and I was really embracing the rainbow thing at the time. I don't really like rainbows so much now because I genuinely feel that the color combination is tacky. Like, that's my issue. It's nothing to do with the sentiment. Yay gay people, yay trans people, woohoo! But the color combination, you're not gonna catch me wearing a rainbow. I just don't think it's that cute. But back then, and my point is, I didn't really have this. I hadn't. I had not yet risen to this level of taste. I didn't have such a high taste level at the time, and so I was wearing like some rainbow shirt or whatever, and these little short, tiny little short, almost like hot pants, but they were not tight. They were like loose little tiny shorts. They had a tie on the front. And so I was looking like a real fag, and I had super long, like silver glitter, shiny, like iridescent glitter acrylics. I said glitter like 3 times. Super shiny glitter, iridescent glitter acrylics. And I was just really faggy, gay. And my hair was short at the time. I had like on, I was wearing a cute little makeup look. I had on a lipstick. I was feeling my fantasy at my first pride. And then Luke was walking with me in a shirt that said, "I'm straight." I thought that was so funny. Like, maybe some people, if you don't know, people like now reading all the controversy online about like straight men and like gay bars and stuff like that. Like, maybe people don't think that's funny. Back then, I thought it was really funny. Um, but anyway, so like that was my first pride. It wasn't that eventful. Except seeing JoJo was really, really cool. But like I was underage and stuff, so I wasn't like getting lit. I did hit the Benjamin, but got my ass in trouble. So learned my lesson. Um, so yeah, that was my first pride. It was a lot of fun. It was really like, I'm still grateful to like Lux and Mallory for welcoming us in their home. It's just like I've always have fond memories of that pride, just because never had one before. Um, so that was my first pride, and that was in Virginia Beach, and that was, like I said, I think 2019. I'm almost positive. And then 2020 did not go to Pride, baby. There was, one, Ahmaud Arbery died that February in my hometown, and then we didn't find out till May. So we were protesting, bitch, instead of priding. We were not celebrating. I was out during this summer during the pandemic, but it was for protesting, not for getting drunk with my friends for Pride. So there was no Pride 2020, and then 2021. I actually did not attend Pride, but I did go to New York City. So I went to my first semester of in-person college, the spring of 2021. Actually, it wasn't even in person. We were doing online classes from our dorms. But it was like we had like one in-person class, so it was weird, kind of a weird time. Trying to like not catch the pandemic and also like do school and not like lose too much of time. At the time I was 18, I was still trying to like do college while I was a teenager and not lose the time, so it was a weird time. But anyway, the summer 2021, I actually did go up to New York City in June, but it was a week or two before Pride, and it was a weekend or two before Pride, and it was to see Shoshana Bean at Tavern on the Green in Central Park. That was a bar, Shoshana Bean Tavern on the Green. I was seeing like a small intimate like dinner show of Shoshana Bean, and that was like my birthday present, and my parents got me 4 tickets. So I took my friend Katie and her boyfriend at the time, and their friend from school, and we went and seen Shoshana. So it was kind of like my Pride festivity. It was very gay because it was Pride Month. It was June. My birthday's in June, obviously. And it was for my birthday. It was like the 15th. It was right after my birthday. But like I said, a weekend, maybe a week and a half before Pride. Like, I just missed it. But that was my first time going up to New York City all alone, like by myself, flying, 2021. So that was like half Pride, but not really Pride. And then 2022 was the first time that I ever went to New York City Pride, with my friend Bella. Like that was our first like pride festivity, like college pride festivity situation. The adjectives I'm choosing are so often ununique and very repetitive. Very silly of me. But anyway, that was our first pride. 2022 was like really fun. Like I remember the first day I got there, I didn't pack any shoes. The only shoes I had were the shoes that I was wearing on my feet. They were Birkenstocks. And and I was wearing Birkenstocks, and I was like, I mean, like, I guess I'll do for now. They're comfortable enough, you know, like for walking, it's not ideal, but they do have an arch, so like it was good enough to walk around the city. So we're walking around, then we get poured on. So we get poured rain on, and all I had was the Birkenstocks that I was wearing that were now cork and leather and soaking wet. And so the next day I had to like go to the van store, and the only van that they had big enough to fit me in a 12 and a half, because I wear a 12 sometimes, a 13 at the biggest, and then a 12 and a half in some brands like Vans, Nike, etc. And they didn't have a lot of 12 and a halves, as you can imagine. And the only 12 and a half they had was a plain white, damn Daniel van, like plain white. And the reason I say it like that is because we were going to Pride the next day, and it was like in Washington Square Park, and it's like muddy, dirty mulch park. You know what I mean? Everybody's like drunk and like sitting in the grass. Like nobody has blankets or towels. Nobody's prepared. Everybody's sitting in their cute Pride outfits covered in glitter, sitting in the grass in white shoes that got grass stained and dirt stained. They were so disgusting. But it was like a living you learn kind of experience. We had so much fun, but I just like did not know any better. I also was not. I was still underage. So we like couldn't. We didn't like. Well, the only time we went to like a bar was to see Bella's dad play a show, because like they would let us in because he was playing. The rest of the time we were like, you know, like out or like, you know, watching movies or eating or celebrating or whatever, you know. So that was my first official Pride, and then my second official New York City Pride was last year in 2023, and that one was like I had more than one pair of shoes that time, so I got that covered. I forgot to bring a little tote bag though, so I like had to carry everything in my pocket, so my pants were like falling down the whole time, because I'm wearing little shorts, no belt, trying to shove anything in my pockets, and the pants are falling down because they're too heavy in the pockets and they're so little, the shorts. So that was like another kind of rookie mistake on year two. So this year I'm gonna make sure I have a bag. But like last year we had a lot of fun because I don't know, we had a really good time last year. I don't even know what made it so fun. It was just our energy, maybe. It was a good Pride. I'm really excited for this year. It's gonna be my third official Pride, my fourth summer consecutively back in New York City. I've missed New York. I haven't been there in a whole year almost. I haven't been there since last Pride. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going back. Pride as a celebration, it's a good time. Last year was my first Pride being 21, but this year is me and Bella. Bella turned 21 in September, which is after Pride, obviously. So this is her first Pride being 21. And so it's like our first Pride being 21, even though I was 21 last year. So we're going to be able to go out a little bit more this year and have some like fun festivities, hang out with all of our girlsies, our sissies, our sisters. In the city, I'll be there for like six days, I think. And it doesn't sound like that long, but baby, in 6 days you live a lifetime at Pride. They say Vegas is where the shit stays, bitch. Pride is where it needs to stay. New York City, bitch, is where that shit needs to stay. Whatever happens at Pride stays the fuck there. So yeah, you guys. My episode next week might be a little late, and by might I mean it's gonna be a little late, because I was gonna pre-record an episode, but now I don't think I'm going to, because I was gonna do the Pride special next week and then I just did it now. So I don't know what I'm gonna pre-record, and I get back on Tuesday, which is usually the day that I upload, but I get back on Tuesday and like at night. So Wednesday I'll guess I will get up and record an episode and like recap maybe. So maybe it won't come out till Thursday or Friday. That's just tentative. I just want to let you know. I'm not trying to fall off my schedule again. I'm just literally going to be traveling, and I don't want to pre-tape the episode because I want to give you the information in like more real time, closer to live time. I don't want to have to make you wait until 2 weeks, a whole week after Pride to know about Pride, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Koblizzy. We just kind of had like a yap fest. We were chatting down. If you watch this video on YouTube, like it, comment. If you listened on a podcast platform, give me some stars or a review. Go to my website, koblizzy.com. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Koblizzy, and give me a kiss. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Koblizzy. I will be back next week after I come home from New York City to tell you all about all the pride functions, all the festivities, diva. So yeah, I hope you enjoy life. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Love on the people who love you. I'll do the best to do the same. I'll do my best to do the same. And until next time, bye bye. See you later, divas. Divos. Diva. Diva is gender neutral, bitch. Ain't no need for no fucking Devo.